Hey, what's up, guys? So today I'm going to show you fancy ladies dresser boxes or vanity boxes through the ages. And this isn't all that's in my collection. I have a lot more of these. But here, let's go over some of them. So this one is probably circa 1890, 1900. And this is a beautiful Gothic style dresser box. Some of these were made in Russia, America, Europe, France, all over the world. This one is an early 20th century, probably about 1905 to about 1910. And it's like a fired opaline glass box with these beautiful feet, like lion paw feet, with this beautiful fired in design with hand painting and transferware. This one is, believe it or not, this is a mid 20th century. I'm sorry. Yeah, 1930s to 1950s. And this is opaline glass, made in France, and it's a egg shape. Really quite beautiful. Look at that. And so we have bird designs going throughout, and it opens up, and you could place like little trinkets and stuff in it. And I always put little notes in there, so in case anything happens to me, my family doesn't throw this stuff in the garbage. Here's a mid-century, like a 1940s, 1950s piece, made in Murano, Italy. And it has that beautiful crackle type of glass and almost like an alligator pattern. And a beautiful, like, I can't explain the color, like almost like a wine color meets like pink and purple. Then we have another one over here. This is again opaline glass. This probably is from the 1890s, and this is known as the Helmsteed Swirl. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And this was made by Wavecrest. This is really beautiful by C.F. Monroe, and it's like a little dresser bonbon box, and you have that beautiful design with the hand painting and the swirl going throughout it. Now this one over here is a beautiful box that's like gilt brass, and you get this beautiful little portrait in the center of a lady. And it was done on porcelain. So it's a porcelain portrait box. Really quite beautiful. And you almost have like an Egyptian motif going on the legs and everything. Really quite ornate. This is probably circa 1900, 1906. Then we move over to here, and this is a German brass trinket box. And it was probably made about 1900 or so, maybe up to the 30s. And that one's really unique. This one is like an all-time favorite of mine. This one is really quite interesting because we have a stone top and we have a medallion of Napoleon, and it's made out of bronze. And look at this beautiful pink stone. And then along the bottom of the box, we have jade or jadeite feet or legs going throughout it, and it goes all throughout the box. This is really something else. I always put notations inside, so I just wanted to get a little information because I forgot what this one is. And I wrote antique French jewelry trinket box, $350 to $1,000. I always put the amount so my family don't throw it in the dumpster if something happens to me. Antique French jewelry trinket or snuff box made of rare Russian pink rhodonite stone. That's the kind of stone. And yeah, so the Napoleon medal on top was made by a famous jeweler and medalist by the name of Louis Armand Rault, or Raoult, and he was born in 1847 and died in 1903. He worked for a major jewelry store, and it was called Boucheron. Boucheron. I always butcher the French language. Boxes circa 1890 to 1903. Very interesting. Okay, next we have this one that'll fool the pants off of you. So a lot of times you would take a look at something like this and say, oh my God, this is unmistakably like really old, like 1850s. We have the lion's paw feet on the bottom. The beautiful, I believe that's Champlavy enamel work. And you see this beautiful, like almost like French style workmanship going through it. On the top, we have these little rhinestones and a little painted scene and gold gilds going throughout it. And again, the bottom, we have beautiful, like gilt brass with the lion paw feet. But this actually was made somewhere between, I'm going to say, about 1920 all the way up to about 1940, and it was made in Italy. Okay, next we have this old Paris porcelain box, probably from about the 1850s to the 1870s, made out of porcelain with a beautiful portrait on the top, hand painted. Next we have is a Venetian glass box, and this one is really interesting because a lot of people call this Moser glass, which is a company that was in Czechoslovakia, otherwise known as Bohemia. And this is actually Venetian Carnival glass, and it was made by a specific artist of a Murano glass that was by the name of. It's very, very hard to pronounce these names. Oh my goodness. It was, goodness gracious, Antonio Salviati. And actually, he made the glass, the Italian guy, and Moser in Bohemia decorated it. And you have that beautiful, almost like lace look to it. This is really rare. And especially in this color, it's almost like I'm afraid to put it down right now. Oh my goodness, it's like stuck to my hand. It's a beautiful like aquamarine color, and you can see I'm going to move my light around so you can see that. Really beautiful. But a lot of people would call this Moser glass, but it is Moser glass because he decorated it. But again, it's Venetian glass made in Italy. All right, now we have this Victorian, probably about 1870s to 1890s gilt brass jewelry box or dresser box. It has someone's initials in it, which is quite cool. And look at all this workmanship in here with the original key. And it's very hard to find them with the original key. And let me try to open this up. It's always hard for me to get these things open with one hand. And I got it open. And it's silk lined. Look at that. Really, really quite spectacular. Then as we move back here, we have a Baccarat crystal box. Look at the cuts in there. Isn't that beautiful? That is just absolutely stunning. And they came in all different shapes, all different sizes. And this one is cylindrical. And it opens up and you can see the beautiful workmanship in there. Really, really quite stunning. Then we have another mid-century Italian Murano Venetian glass box in this beautiful green color. Really, really quite beautiful. Here's another Murano glass, case glass box. And it has this beautiful rare blue color. Really quite absolutely stunning. And so these dresser boxes, as you can see through the decades, through the years, actually played a part in women's everyday life because they sat on their dresser. And, you know, we go through the decades and you can see the different types of designs, how fancy they were. Here's another Baccarat crystal glass box. Really quite stunning, if you ask me. And again, we have our glass pieces over here. So I was so glad I was able to share this with you. By the way, I collect wooden antique boxes as well. That's Frisian chip art right there. And this one is about an 1850s box, probably made in England, with these little mother of pearl or bone little placards with brass on it. Really quite lovely. Here we go. Look at that. It's like a little treasure box. And I always put notes in there again. Hopefully one day my family will not throw this stuff in the garbage. If anything ever happens to me, I want you guys to contact my family and tell them not to throw this stuff in the garbage. It's my kids' inheritance. My husband once said to me, one day if something ever happens to you, I am renting the biggest dumpster. I'm placing it in the driveway and I'm throwing out every single one of your antiques right into the garbage. And I said, but don't you understand these are worth something? And maybe the kids can use the money. And he said, I don't give a shit. Excuse my language. It just takes up space and it clutters up the whole house. I don't think this is clutter. I think this is beauty. So please, if anything ever happens to me, I want one of you guys to contact my family and tell them not to throw this stuff in the dumpster. Thanks for watching.